I'd like to share a short passage written by Swami Kriyananda in his book, Living Wisely, Living Well. This one comes on February 26th, and it relates to a fascinating and very important topic in the spiritual life, introspection. But Swami picks it up from a fascinating angle, and so I'll share that now and a few thoughts afterwards. A key to introspection is to focus on the to focus on the rhythms of your breath, on its calmness or rapidity, on the force of its flow, on the location of that flow in the nostrils, on each pause between the breaths, on the relative length of inhalation to exhalation. Parentheses. In sleep, for instance, exhalation is twice as long as inhalation. Your breathing is a reflection of your mental state. As you watch it, you will find yourself becoming inwardly calm, and your stillness in turn will deepen your introspection. I bring this out because introspection, as I mentioned, is one of the most important subjects in deepening one's spiritual life. We have to introspect about our own motivations, about what the lessons we've learned or not learned, the struggles that we keep running into over and over again that seem intractable, and learn to come at it in a different way. And this, for me at least, was a fascinatingly different way, because I had never thought, until I read this, I had never thought of the application of watching the breath to the process of introspection. But in fact, it's of course quite profound. And if we learn to watch the breath as a meditative practice, we can discover all kinds of amazing correlations. And the way the breath and our consciousness are inextricably connected. They're absolutely wired together. There is no separating the two. Leads to a fascinating sort of vista of discovery about ourselves. And watching the breath can give us an insight into where are we truly? Are we truly relaxed? Are we truly open and ready and sort of flexible to relate to reality the way it comes to us? Swamiji, in his book, The Art and Science of Raja Yoga, makes the point that if we would learn to relate to reality, if we would like to make a change in reality, we have to first relate to what is. It's all very well to think of some imaginary future that we would like to aspire to. But the only way to get there, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, the only way to get there is to actually relate to what truly is right now. And observing the breath is a way of understanding, okay, so that's how I'm responding to that situation. And we may think, well, I'm just a consciousness riding around in a body. That's one way to look at it. Sort of like this body is our personal buggy, our car, our sort of vehicle to move around in. Okay, well, on a certain level, that's true. But on another level, the body is constantly trying to share with us insights that we may not quite have perceived yet, or may not quite be ready to perceive. And if we listen, if we tune in, if we observe, another interesting angle, coming back to the Raja Yoga book, that just, I don't know, it's one of these lines that goes by so quickly, but Swami said, awareness is the presence of God within us. Just that simple, awareness, not awareness of. In an affirmation that Swami gave us on the topic of awareness, he said, we need to transfer our focus from what we are aware of to what we are aware with. And wow, there again, profound vistas of, because we tend to think of awareness of. In fact, I remember even asking him once, Swami, if you talk about heightening awareness, what if I'm aware of a pain in my knee? I don't want to become more aware of the pain in my knee. And he chuckled. But basically what he was driving at is trace your awareness back to its source in divinity, inside of your own self. And you can literally do the same thing with your breath. Trace your awareness of that movement of breath back to its source of stillness and, again, divinity within. Ultimately, that's the goal of introspection, is to lead us back to our own true source. Lead us back to the beginning of the labyrinth where we got tangled up going down blind alleys. But follow that in your own life, in your way. Observe the breath and use it as a tool to deepen your own introspection. Namaste.